G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed my last video, the upgrade to or repairs to my power feed on the cross slide on my lathe, link up there now, you can go and watch that first and come back and watch this one. Now I did mention there that I didn't have much else in mind to make, but there is something I want to make for the mill, and I've got bits and pieces on order for that. God knows how long I'll be waiting for some of it, but anyway, I do have quite a few bits, so we can probably get on with it, and this will be a fair bit of machining in it. So let's head over to the bench and I'll have a little talk about just what it is I want to make over there. Alrighty, so there have been times when I've considered making something on the on my mill and thought, nah, it's too high, I won't be able to get in the mill and work on it. So it stopped me from doing things. And then I saw something the other day and I thought, well, that could get me around some of these problems. Now these things, that one there, that's one from AliExpress. It's a 90-degree drive. That particular one there was about 600 baht plus deliveries. That was about 800 baht or something by the time we got it here. But it hasn't really got what I want. You'd have to drive it with the collet chuck, and that would lose me another 50-60 millimeters in height. So what I want to make is one with a 2 Morse taper arbor on it, so I can just take collet chuck out, bang straight up in there. Now it would need to have a big plate on the top of it so I can clamp around the bearing housing on the bottom of the head to hold it all steady. And also this thing, you'd have to, I don't know, God knows, put whatever you want on there, drill chuck, a collet chuck or something. Well, I'd rather have a collet chuck there to start with. So I've invested in a ER20 with a 16mm shank, which has caused me no end of drama, because I literally finding bearings with a 16mm ID seems to be an impossibility. They're 15 or 17 for some reason. God knows why. I mean, 16 I would have thought would have been pretty common size, but not, because I really wanted some angular contact bearings, one for each end. So I thought, oh, I'll go to a tapered roller. No, can't get them in a 16 either. So in the end I did find some deep groove ball bearings with a 16mm centre. So I've ordered 2 of them and they should be here next day. So, and then I went looking for some 16mm thrust bearings. No, don't do them either. They're 15, 17, whatever. So in the end I went to some 20mm ones. I'll just have to make a sleeve up to fit on the shaft and locate it. So that's the idea, will be a collet chuck in there instead of that shaft. Now I have shot myself in the foot a little bit because I've ordered 2 bevel gears and they're on the way here, and I really should have looked a bit harder. I couldn't find this drawing with the dimensions on it in the page for it, again on AliExpress, but I wasn't looking hard enough because way down the bottom of the page under another Seymour tab was these drawings. And I've ordered a 1M32, and the idea was trying to keep the size down a bit in here so that it wouldn't get too big and too heavy. I really should have ordered a 1.5M because the 6M in here is only 10mm. That's bloody 16, so I can't pass that through it. Whereas the 1.5M is 20mm across there, I think it said, which would allow me to bore right through this 16mm. So what I will have to do is cut this off somewhere, use a bit of this 12mm or 12 point something mil bar I bought to do the threading setup on the lathe, and machine it down, try and press it up inside there, weld it if I have to around the end, and then bore these out to take this shaft, and then make some sleeves up for the bearings and everything to sit on, because all the bearings are 16mm or 20mm, so all sort of weird shit going on. But anyway, so that's what I've got planned for that. Material wise, I've got this lump of plates just over 15mm thick. I think it's probably supposed to be a bit of 5/8, but it measures just over 15. I need to make a plate up to clamp around the bearing housing on the top of and the bottom of the mill, on the bottom of the head, to hold it in place. So that'll come out a piece of this. Although I do have some 20mm, I might use a bit of that yet, and then save these for the top for the bearing and the end pieces and the bottom or whatever, because that's a pretty heavy lump of plate, that, and the head's a pretty heavy thing as it is. Anyway, that's what I got planned, so I'll have another dig through material, see what I got I can make stuff out of, and we'll get started on it. I do have some material that I could make the arbor out of, so I could do that. Like I said, I've got bits of plate that I can make all this top part out of. Once the bearings get here, I can machine the plates to fit the bearings and all that sort of stuff. So get on with it. Alrighty, so I decided to make something that will clamp around here to stop the whole thing from rotating. And I had a look through what I've got. I don't have a real lot, but the length of this and then the length of this, it's about 40 millimeters. It's a lot of weight if I make it all out of steel, you know, and because I've got to get down below this top of where this is here. That's about where it will mount there, or top of it. So I set down and I drew this up. Right, so it's something that'll fit up over it and just clamp around there, and it'll have a cut through here. But halfway through printing that up, I decided I could probably do better than that, because I'll make this out of I'll cast it out of the aluminium, so it'll be, you know, a lot lighter, and I don't think it should affect the rigidity or anything of it. So I drew this up, and I'll make it this way so that I can actually see what's going in through it, inside all of this, if I need to. So I'm going to sit down today and I'll make a foam casting piece up, and over the next day or so. And there's a storm building out the back at the moment, so hopefully it won't be like that tomorrow. And we'll get in and we'll try and cast up one of these and then machine it up. Alrighty, so there we have it. Kind of looks like that, but I've left plenty of meat for machining purposes. Oh, shut up. Bloody dog. Every time I go to record something, the dog starts barking. Alrighty, so the last thing to go on there will be the sprue, which is this bit. It's that pissy foam that burns away pretty smartly. I found makes better sprues, and there's heavier stuff that I made these out of. Oh, shut up. So get that glued on there. Now wait for all of that to dry up, and I'll get a coat of plaster on it, and hopefully the sun will come out later and we'll get it nicely dried up, and then with a bit of luck tomorrow we'll be able to cast it. Alrighty, just a quick sidetrack. I ordered this damn thing 3 weeks ago to show you how slow things are coming out of China at the moment. This thing sat in Chinese outbound customs, so export customs, for 11 or 12 days. Normally it's in and out of there in a day or two, another day or so, and it's in Thai customs, another day or two it's out of there. And that's what happens once it got to Thai customs. It was, to me, within 2 or 3 days. But yeah, 11 or 12 days sitting in Chinese export customs. Bloody ridiculous. Anyway, that's what's happening at the moment. And it's been like that ever since Chinese New Year. What a bastard. I'm not entirely certain that I had enough material there, but hopefully I did. Alrighty, so that's the moment of truth. Did I get a full, properly formed casting? Certainly looks that way. Yippee-ki-yay, beautiful. Alrighty, so it's shopping day today, so I'm going to leave that until I get back from shopping, and then we'll do something about machining it up. Alrighty, so I've ended up with a pretty decent sort of casting. It's a little rough in places, but hey, it'll do the job. So time to clean it up a bit, and a chance to check out that power feed I redid on the cross slide a week or so ago. It's going to take a bit more to clean that up yet. It was pretty daggy looking surface. Looks pretty much like this does. Still a bit daggy, we'll do a bit more. Got plenty to play with. This is a fair bit thicker than what I had originally planned on. Still a couple of defects in there, but I can live with those. Rightio. Didn't get this very scented, did I? Oh well, that's life. Alrighty, I'm not all that worried about those pits and things in there. They don't going to affect it much. Alrighty, so I think I'll just put a chamfer on here and I'll move the camera and we'll bore the inside of this one out. No, that'll do that. I'm not going to worry about this, I'll machine all this up over in the mill. This bit. Rightio. I'll turn this camera off and I'll move it and we'll bring it around so you're looking at it from this end. Alrighty, there's a big lump here to take out, so I think I might take a pretty easy pass up there first to get rid of that. Pretty much got rid of it, I think. The size of this hole's not that important, it's just a clearance hole around it's got the spindle will run inside of there. Bottom of the spindle is 37.9, just under 40. That's 36.5 at the moment. I'll take it out to 40, give it a bit of clearance. .2, so I'm at 0.8. Oh, bloody shot it. Oh, doesn't matter. So I'll get that, I'll chamfer that hole and then I'll get it out there, turn it around and we'll bore the inside of this big section out back in a minute. Alrighty, so because I don't want to smack into the bottom of this, I've touched it off and zeroed it to the face in the bottom there so I don't run into the damn thing. Well, hopefully I don't run into it. Let's go. Got to get this out to 75.4 millimeters. At the moment it's it's a bit over 70, so it's about 5 millimeters come out of there. And 4.6. Sanity check. 74.9. What did I say this? Coming up really nice, that. 74.9, so it's another 0.5, so I'll go another 0.2, check it again, don't want to make it too big. One thing I do not want it is too big. Because then I'll have to clamp it up too much to get it to clamp up. And that is too much, 75.8. 4 too much. What have I done? Idiot. Glad I stopped. .09 or 75.1 we'll call it. So what's that? That's another 0.3, 0.15. Alright, so that's where it's got to be now. So we need to clean this back face up a bit. No, so all that's left to do now is face this face off, and we're done in the lathe with this. Alrighty, so that's it for the lathe work. I don't mind telling it's a bit bloody hot out here today, so I think I'm going to go and sit down and have a break for a while, and then come back out here and we'll set it up in the mill and do what I've got to do in the mill with it. Alrighty, so I've got this all centered off the centre, and now I've got to reduce the width of this to 50 millimetres. I might even make it 51 just for the sake of it. Anyway, we'll make a couple of cuts here and just see how we're going. Alrighty, so I did want to go in all the way because I'm worried about how thin this is getting here. So I won't bore you with the other side, same shit, different side. And it should end up 52 millimetres, I think it might have been. Can't remember. Anyway, a little bit wider because I've got a 50 mil plate that I'm going to use to make the bearing. Oh, actually no, it's 15 mil thick, and I'll cut it. I could cut it 52 actually. I've got to cut it out of a piece of plate. So I'll do the other side, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to do a bit more. Alrighty, it's been a bit of a dead loss today. I had a doctor's appointment this morning to get a bit more suspected skin cancer cut out, and then my daughter wanted to go shopping somewhere after coming back from Cambodia yesterday. So I only got an hour or so now before I go to the bar. So yesterday I worked out, I did a drawing for the top mounting plate, so the bearing in the centre, so 4 mounting bolts, which will bolt onto here. So I wanted to get these drilled and tapped before I head out again. Get something done today. So let's get started. So this is the first one. Alrighty, so that's everything I can do in that position. So tomorrow I'll get it out of there, flip it over, and do some work on the clamping part of it up here. Alrighty, so got this all sanded back up. Put a little scratch mark in the top there with a spotting drill across the top, so I can see where the centre is. So make sure I'm fairly centred with that. And what I want to do is narrow it up a bit and put a nice scallop or scallop, as you guys tend to say in the US, in the corners here, so it's not as weak. Won't want to break off as much. That's about 21 mil at the moment. I'll reduce it down to about 15. Alrighty, so I'll get the slitting saw in there now and we'll get up underneath this and slit it around here as far as I can get, and around there as far as I can get before this starts hitting the top of the jaw here. Alrighty, so that went pretty well. So now actually there's something I should have done before I did that, and that is shorten this up. I can always take it over the saw and just cut a bit off and then clean it up a bit, save milling it all the way. Alright, so I'll get that out of there, turn it up on its side now, drill and tap a hole in here for a clamp bolt, and then put the slitting saw back in and slit it through here. Alright, so I went looking, I got this all sanded up and spotted and ready to rock. Alright, and once again I don't think I'm going to get through this. I really do need a longer blade. Anyway, I'll just get through as far as I can and then I'll finish it with a hacksaw or something. I almost got there. The only thing stopped me was the retaining nut hitting this. There's only maybe a millimetre in there, so that'll be easy enough to get rid of. Alrighty, so I'll get this thing out of there and dress it up a little bit, and then get all of this off, get it up on here, and make sure it wants to fit. And I'll come back to you when I'm done dressing this up a bit. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Alrighty, so there we have it. It was a nice, I just had to tap it up there a little bit, so nice fit, perfect. Done up nice and tight, not going anywhere. So now I can get on with all the bits that got to go underneath it. The spindle's just up inside there, maybe a couple of 2 millimetres, something like that, but it works out good. Well, I think that's about all we've got damn time for this week. I hope you've been enjoying this, and if you have, make sure you give it a great big thumbs up and smash that like button, because you know it kind of helps me out a bit. Alrighty, so next week I'll get on with making the plate that goes up in here, and the spindle will come down with a Morse 2 taper on it, and we'll go with those two and then see how far we get after that. But, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.